Hello everyone, thank you Kavya for the introduction. I hope to make your next 10 minutes enriching and interesting, so be with me. AdTech, while we all realize plays a crucial role in terms of how we're shaping our marketing strategies, we have moved a long way, I hope all agree with me, from a 1-minute TV ad on a single screen to a real-time platform engagements. AI, data, automation has changed the way we target, the way we measure, the way we optimize. But one thing, what stays true for marketing, and that's the core of marketing, is communication. How we communicate the right message to the right audience, to the right time, for the right outcome and the right engagement. That's not going to change. Let's all of us agree to that. That's the basic. That's why it becomes more important to know more about communication. And that's what we're going to focus on today. How do we communicate, specifically in India, with such a large-scale population and the base we have? What role does Truecaller play and enable to make your communication better? And what that actually means for marketeers here, right? So moving on, India is a country of billions. Billions of conversations happen on a daily basis between friends, families, businesses, and communities. In the next 10 minutes of this session itself, there are going to be millions of hellos which will be exchanged. Have you thought what those millions of hellos could actually mean for businesses and brands? Pause for a minute and what that opportunity could be for marketers if done right with the right message at the right time. Calls will be made, messages would be sent, interactions would happen, transactions would happen, and decisions are made at that point. Trust is built. In some cases, unfortunately, the trust is broken as well. And looking at that, that's the opportunity we will talk about. Let's spend next few seconds thinking about some simple communication behaviors which we see on daily basis. Many of us, or most of us, when you get up in the morning, what do? Pick your phone, check your notifications. As much, the all health freaks tell us and the fitness tells us, do not pick your phone when you get up in the morning, but that's a simple behavior which we all do. Let's look at the second simple behavior. By the time you came here, all of us received few calls. Let's play with the numbers. For some 3, for some 6, for some 7. That's again a very simple behavior which happens with us. Few calls you picked, few you did not. One more simple thought and behavior. When you're expecting a call which you identify and you know it's crucial, probably your CEO calling you about the new data clean room strategy you want to build. Or your delivery guy delivering that courier which you've been waiting for. Or unfortunately, the Uber driver calling you to say your cab to your showroom is cancelled. Now these are calls which you pick without hesitation. That's where the decision has been made. That's the power of calling. It's immediate, it's high on intent, and it is high on relevance. So before going further, I'm going to play a small AV for you to talk about how India communicates. Now that you've understood the scale we operate on in India, and how India actually communicates, we all understand with scale comes chaos. And that's where we come and play the role for you to make your communication efficient, smarter, and safer. That's the vision we work with. Just to give you a few numbers and let these numbers sink in, 1 out of 3 calls come out of your phone book globally for the users. 3 spam messages are received by each user on a daily basis. Last year itself, in 2024, we were able to block 56 billion calls identified and blocked globally. If you have to look at the business loss or the overall loss which we saw in India itself was about 220 billion INR lost to cyber fraud and crime. That's the scale we operate on. Now, the entire objective for Truecaller is to build trust. The way you are building trust with your products and services, we're looking at building trust in communication. But what that actually means for marketeers here. If I tell you the first hello I talked about from the session, that millions of hellos are happening, if those hellos could be converted into a sealed handshake for you. From a first hello to a sealed handshake, we understand 2 very basic communication tools, calling and messaging, which are again a part of your behavior. But what exactly they are? They are powerful insights which could drive outcomes for your business at an unprecedented scale we operate on. How do we do that? We analyze the real world communication patterns across on our platform. We're at the center of billions of conversations, understanding intent, trust, engagement at scale, and a privacy-first manner, which is non-negotiable for all of us. We've established that a phone call cannot be ignored. As much time, and I think so, previous as well, few of the leaders talked about how much time is spent on our smartphones with social media and others, but social media, emails can be ignored at some point of time. A phone call cannot be ignored. It is immediate and it demands your attention at that very point. And that's what makes Truecaller real estate a prime real estate for all your marketers to engage at real time. They're the biggest enablers for reach, relevance, and results, and that's what we deliver our marketers. Therefore, we see about 10,000 brands who trust us and work with us. Now let's look at some numbers. We're operating on a 260 million daily active user base in India, about 300 million monthly active user base again in India. Now, we are the only few of the platforms who could actually talk about an 80% MAU to DAU ratio. Why does that happen with Truecaller? Because we're a trusted partner for our user base. It's a habit for them. They depend on us on a daily basis. That's the kind of scale we give. Now, one of the leaders again talked about how the scale on bigger events are there, right? When we're watching a T20 or we're looking at an IPL match, and those are big engagement events for us as well. But those events happen probably in a year or in 2 years in few cases. At Truecaller, we're able to deliver this kind of a scale on a daily basis. Over 50% of our users are from tier 2 and tier 3. We're well distributed between all the markets you would want to target as well. Simple fact, we can deliver about 40 million reach in an hour. Imagine what we could do in 24 hours when you're looking at to work with us. Now, while reach is the beginner, and it is very important to have a large reach, relevance becomes very, very important. And that's where comes the understanding of common intent. Calls and SMS, which I talked about, those are our windows to intent. About 963 minutes are spent on voice calls. About 1.3 billion businesses messages are sent on a daily basis. We have about 2,500 verified businesses with us. What do we do with that? We understand the calling and the SMS patterns. We understand the behaviors, we understand the sectors which the users could be interested on. Therefore, we're able to deliver you insights on big events like, for example, when it comes to an IPL, we see about 71% spike on engagement with gaming apps. We we're able to understand different kind of audiences when users are ready to act, because call happens when the user is ready to act. We browse, we research, but what do you do when you want to take an action? You want to buy a car, you call the dealership. When you want to buy a credit card, you call the bank. When you would want to get into real estate, you call the real estate agent. That's the power of calling yet again, okay? These hellos actually span across industries, and we understand these hellos on a large scale, which is able to give us a window of about 200 precise audience segments in a privacy-first manner. Now, while reach and relevance are only meaningful if we are able to deliver results and outcomes for the brands we work with. We have solutions on our proprietary full solution stack, which can deliver impact solutions from a 3 billion roadblock on a daily basis, which can drive high session times, about 30 million clicks in a day itself for a big sale day, or to driving any kind of a product launch with our innovative solutions. We're also able to deliver targeting with first-party, third-party data as well. And that's to prove how 10,000 brands are trusting to deliver measurable business outcomes. These are few of the case studies, if you see, and how we worked with brands across the funnel solutions, from a top funnel to a bottom. So if you're looking at awareness to conversion, that's a platform to work with. While I've given you a little view in terms of what we do, we're also holding 2 interesting workshops where we'll have live case studies. We have our product, data, and business teams to have a chat with you. So hopefully we give you a little insight on communication and how we can mileage the hellos together. Thank you so much, and have a good next 2 days.